All right, fastest 15 minutes on the internet, fastest 15 minutes in social media. My name is Judson Powell. Okay, I want to talk about the music industry, the music industry, also the advertising industry, and also the movie industry. And the reason why I want to talk about this is because, and I think I made a video a while back on this subject, but I want to kind of go a little bit more in depth. And the reason why, I have a friend, and he posted some stuff about, rap music, and especially, what gangster rap has done. And I don't think that, well, first of all, people always try to dismiss everything as like, oh, that's not really a big deal, or you're making too much out of this. I remember I used to do posts about, when I was in the ministry, I would do posts about like Halloween and different pagan holidays and the origins of these holidays and what they really mean. And so we think that when we repeat stuff or when we do things, what happens is they become rituals. And whether we want to admit it or not, whether we say whatever, the bottom line is that, yes, they are rituals. So we have to come to grips with the facts that a lot of these things that we do on a regular basis, and we do yearly or we do monthly or whatever you do, those become rituals. And rituals are spiritual. They are to conjure up spirits or to manifest things. Okay. So when you do things repetitively, so for example, we constantly talk about words or the N word. We talk about all of the different things, calling women B's and H's and all that, which was one opposition that I had to the whole thing with Snoop. It's like, okay, yeah, you may not agree with this woman, but if you call her a B and an H, or you call her whatever, the bottom line is that you are basically talking about a black woman. All right. So, and the same thing when we use the N word or whatever, and we use it repetitively, what happens is we manifest those things. They become real. So, and then I heard, what's his name? I heard an interview with Nick Cannon, and Nick Cannon was talking about the word gangster and how people use the word gangster, and they keep saying it over and over again instead of using the words that we should use. So, for example, if you walk around and you kept saying to yourself, oh, I'm a millionaire, which is what I do. So I walk around talking about all the millions that I'm going to get because I am a millionaire. All right. And so I realize, I say, well, because if I call myself any other thing besides what I am, which is also the reason why 12-step programs don't work. 12-step alcohol recovery, drug recovery, all that stuff, it doesn't work. You know why? Because you stand up in a meeting and you say, hi, my name is such and such, and I am what? And when you say the words I am, that means you are calling out the power of the universe to enforce whatever comes behind what you say. So when I say I am a millionaire, what I'm doing is I'm calling out the force of the universe in order to maintain and to manifest myself as a millionaire. So that's why you have to be careful. So when we sit up there and we see and we look at all these things, and it's called excuse me, it's called the muse, where we get the word amusement or music or, amusement parks and all that. Those words come from a word called the muse. And basically it is a catalyst, and that's basically when you say I am, and then whatever you say behind it or whatever you put on musically, whatever it is, that's what you manifest. So years ago, I stopped watching TV. I stopped, years ago, stopped watching TV, stopped, quit my job in radio, quit my job in television, all of those things. And the reason why was because I realized that whatever it is that you put into your ear, into your head on a regular basis, that's what you feed back out. And a lot of people don't realize that. And whatever you keep on repeating, that's what you're manifesting. And so, and in some churches, and I will admit, some churches do teach you to, that those things are manifestations. They don't teach you why necessarily, but they do tell you, well, you got to watch what you say, watch what you do, all that kind of stuff. And the reason is because the media is designed to get you into your kundalini or your lower nature. All right. And the kundalini energy it's a very volatile energy. I talk about this stuff all the time. Excuse me. But it is a very volatile energy. Why? Because not only does it give life and sustain life, but it also can destroy life. All right. And it's very volatile because it's at the root, it's the basis for everything. It's the start or where everything starts. My wife always talks about, it's very funny how you can use the bathroom or have sex and they happen within a little bit, like an inch of each other, right? And she's like, so the basic design of the human body, and all of that is set up that way. And even the way the blood and the fluid and everything circulate up and down the spine from the cerebral cortex all the way down to the base of the spine and this, that, and the other thing. All of these things, right? They're designed to aid your spirituality, but we're never taught that. All right. So basically, what the media does is they try to affect your basic chakra. So your base chakra, your kundalini, that's what everything is designed to do. All right. The Bible, once again, you got to watch the Bible. Why? Because what do they talk? What are all the things they tell you don't? Jealousy, envy, fear, all of these things are what? They're all manifested in the lower chakras. They're all manifested in the lower chakras. All right. And so what do? They make you literally, they tell you that envy or to covetousness or whatever how they put it, right? So they tell you, don't covet your neighbor's wife or nor his ox, nor his donkey. I won't use the other or whatever, right? But what does advertising do? It makes you covetous. Why? Because it is part of your lower nature. You can't help it. Sex. Why do they sell stuff using sex? Why? The fact that a beautiful woman drinks Crown Royal on a commercial, right, makes you want the Crown Royal. Why? Because it's appealing to your lower nature. It's not because Crown Royal is the best thing that you ever tasted. It's because it appeals to your lower nature. And that's what all music, all media, everything, that's what it's about. And when you understand that, then you can say, okay, well, just like I taught my children, I said, rap music is not necessarily 100% good for you. You have to take it as entertainment. It's just to entertain you. But what we get now in society is we get people that are going out living a gangster life, trying to imitate what happens in the music. So that's how you get a Suge Knight. That's how you get a Tupac, Thug Life. That's how you get all of these young guys that are being murdered, these young rappers that are being murdered. Why? Because they are in that world. They have created and manifested that world. See, it's pretty much another parallel universe. And then I talk about and so then he said, well, what are the universal laws that basically that govern this? And the universal laws that govern it are first of all, the law of attraction, and the law of vibration. So whatever vibration you keep constantly putting out, that's what you're going to attract. That's how come people, you wonder why, like they always say, birds of a feather flock together. Well, why do all the pigeons gather together and they're all around? Because it's universal law. Because you go towards, or you are attracted to people who are just like you. Even racism is based on that. You don't hang around. Most of the people that you hang around are people who are like-minded and who are like you, or who vibrate at the same level. All right. So even those things. So they know 100%, like, because they plan everything out. And while I was a media practitioner, and when I worked in the media, I saw there's nothing that happens by chance, or there's nothing that's, and then everybody goes, oh, you always got a conspiracy. It's not a conspiracy. It's just the way that they work stuff. It is the way that is set up. And just like when they discovered, like back in the 70s and the 80s, and they discovered in magazines and in newspapers that they were putting subliminal messages inside the pictures in the advertising. And you would go and there would be a glass of soda or whatever with ice cubes in it, and inside the ice cubes there'd be pictures of naked women and all this, or different images of different things that would make you subliminally want to like that stuff. It's color, same thing with color. There are certain colors because of it, the spectrum. So you're attracted to certain colors. You're attracted to certain sounds. Just like I think I posted about how Jimi Hendrix and Prince and all of these different people, that they recorded their music at a certain frequency, at a certain vibration, so that it would be attractive to people. And they did this on purpose. So, and the same thing throughout the whole entire, so you're talking about industries that use this stuff. And the muse is just a catalyst for what they want your mind to pick up, and they want your mind to process. So I'm a millionaire. So you have to say and do the things that are going to put you into the right perspective and into the proper channels. And here's the thing. So that's why they systematically fed gangster rap to African Americans. That's why they systematically did it. And a lot of people, they wound up in jail. They wound up in the drug culture. They wound up in the gang culture. They wound up in the thug culture. They wound up in all of that stuff. Why? Because it was being done to them subliminally. Every time you hear a record, and I did an experiment this week, because I don't listen to the radio, because I already know what it is. I know it's a program, and that's why they call it television and radio programming. You are being programmed. So when you listen to the radio, what do you get? Okay, so even if it's top 40, you get 40 songs, and nowadays you basically only get 20 songs. All right, and they play those same 20 songs over and over and over again. And eventually what happens? You like them. And it's not because you like them, it's because they're so familiar to your subconscious that it becomes easy for you to like them. All right. So it's not necessarily, and I remember we used to do stuff at the radio station. I know for a fact, I used to program radio stations. I know for a fact we would do stuff just to see if y'all would take it, if y'all would fall for it. And several times y'all did. There were times when people, and it doesn't matter the type of music. At one point I programmed 42 gospel stations, and the same thing. If I play something repetitively enough, you'll like it. Even if you don't like it at first, eventually you'll grow to like it. In fact, you'll grow to love it. And it becomes a part of what? It becomes a part of your soul. And that's the other thing that they never tell you. See, your soul is the sum total of every experience, everything you hear, everything you see, everything somebody says to you, everything, all of the experiences that you have from the moment you break the matrix and you come out from your mother until you leave the earth. That's your soul. So all of these things that you're listening to, all these things you're doing, all of the stuff that's in the pop culture, everything, they're programming that into you. It's into your soul, though. Believe it. So anyway, that's all I got. I want y'all to hit the like button. Hit the like button for me. Hit the subscribe button. I need subscribers so I can start going live eventually. And then hit the notification button so when I do make a video, you can see it. And please share it with your friends, family, neighbors, friends, and loved ones. Anyway, I love y'all, and just remember, everything that you hear, everything that you say, it's you're manifesting stuff all along. You're just manifesting. I'm a millionaire. I am a millionaire.